Now we're recording. Hi. We're here. It's Genshin. B, are you excited for this?
I love him.
You do love him. We've established this. You love the boy.
Paimon has a funny feeling that we might be in for an interesting time if we go check it out. Shall we?
You love your magician thief boy, who's an orphan. And is also technically a cat boy, but only by genetics, not by appearance.
I mean, technically, a lot of people do bring up, like, apparently, like, his eyes are pretty cat-like.
Absolutely.
Like, more so than Lynette's.
Phantom Weasel never acts as you expect. He must have faked his own death 10 years ago using a body double. Now that he's back, I'm sure the guards who worked on his case back in the day are in for a headache, but however this turns out in the end, the one thing it won't be is boring.
Couldn't agree more. As a journalist, I'm gonna get a lot of mileage out of this one. Thank you, sir, for your time. Now, whom should I interview next?
You're so excited about her job.
Hey! What a coincidence! Fancy meeting you here.
I like Charlotte. I think she's cute.
Perfect timing. So,
like, yes, design, but also, like, personality-wise.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is the first time we're hearing of this one. Could you clue us in?
Huh? Oh, sorry. Yes, this case is from a decade ago. I guess you wouldn't know about it. Well, not to worry. You're in good hands because I'm a professional. The story goes like this. 10 or so years ago, a phantom thief became active in the court of Fontaine. Known only as the Weasel. Nobody knew his true identity, and the authorities never managed to catch him.
What's his persona? This is a very important question. What do you think his arcana is?
Wow, cool! He sounds like one of those mysterious night burglars that you read about in novels.
As a joke, I'm surprised B didn't latch on to.
Oh, no. I'm tired.
Precisely. Well, except the part where they actually have a good reputation.
Here's a question, are either of us ever not tired?
Fear, and no one was safe from his predations.
True. I'm extra tired. I need to get a refill of my meds.
Yay.
He would just as soon steal a necklace from a rich
Did I
merchant's
tell you
safe
that I started
as
anxiety
given
meds?
to a commoner child for
Yeah.
his birthday.
Okay, good. I did tell you that. I couldn't remember.
I know. The phantom thieves you read about in novels rob the rich to pay the poor. But this guy did not discriminate. Unsurprisingly, this didn't work wonders for his public reputation. Every man and his dog wanted to see him behind bars.
Even the dogs wanted him behind bars? Wow, those are some really smart dogs. I didn't know they could read the newspaper.
Yeesh. So, did they catch him?
Not exactly. There's a good chance that the Weasel would still be at large to this day if it hadn't been for an accident 10 years ago. A magician named Caesar fell to his death in a botched high-altitude escape performance.
Oof? Pain? That sounds bad. How many children were traumatized by this? And is the answer a lot?
When the police went through his personal effects, they found a hoard of stolen loot and gadgets used for criminal activities. And that was how the Phantom Weasel's identity was revealed to all.
I was about to ask why Weasel, and then I remembered that the treasure weasels are a real thing in Genshin. So it's like, okay, you know what? Actually, knowing that that's a creature that exists, it makes sense that a thief would be called that.
Sure enough, thefts in Fontaine went down after Caesar's death. But today, 10 years on, the notorious thief has once again issued one of his warning letters and pasted it on the gate of the Opera Epiclese for all to see.
A thief, a magician. I think I know someone who I can talk to who can either tell us more about this, or is just going to be the guy.
I had to squeeze through the crowd this morning to get a photo as soon as I heard.
I mean, it's 10 years ago.
It's this one.
Well, the new guy, the copycat guy. If we're assuming that the original guy is actually dead and this is a copycat, but also I'm not going to immediately suspect our boy yet. Ma'am, I can't read this.
So, this is the warning letter, huh? Let's see what he wrote. 3 days from now, when evening falls, I shall take from you that which you hold most dear at the opera house, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
Hold on. Shit, I can remember what it's called. Hold on. Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? You're gonna steal the whole thing?
This is, without a doubt, a clear declaration of criminal intent. After years of laying
Wonderful
low,
magic
the
trick means
Phantom
make that
Weasel
disappear.
is back with a vengeance. What once seemed like an open and shut case has been blown wide open again. But why has he reemerged now? And what does he want? I sense an epic scoop, and I'm going for it.
Uh-oh. If this thief will steal anything that other people value, does that mean even we might be targeted? Aww. But Paimon doesn't want to get kidnapped. Well, he'd have to go through you first. You would stop him, right?
You sound so legitimately concerned.
Okay,
It's adorable.
the people have spoken. It's clear that the public are very concerned about the Phantom Weasel's
And
reappearance.
it feels they would sell her out for a chicken nugget.
Well, look, maybe 2 chicken nuggets.
Let's see, I've got a photo of the letter, my interview notes. Yep, that should be enough to form the skeleton of my article. It does feel like something is missing, though. Something exclusive. Who should I interview next? I need someone with a more concrete connection to the weasel.
Just grab her head,
Is
tilt
that who
her
I
up
think it is?
about 45 degrees. Oh, she's already seen this.
Lenny!
She's already there. She's ahead of me.
Magic, magician, Caesar, the Phantom Weasel. That's it. Let's go interview Lenny.
Are we sure that Caesar died from a high-flying accident and not, say, 21 knives on the middle of the Senate?
You see, the original
Or are we a
Phantom
month too
Thief
late for that?
Caesar was a magician too. And what do Phantom Thieves and magicians have in common? They both have an air of mystery about them. Perhaps there's a connection there.
Are you serious? What sort of a deduction is that?
Oh, relax. My journalistic instinct tells me that an exclusive news story is beckoning. Let's go. No time for delay.
You gotta find that back.
All right, let's go talk to the Cat in the Hat.
Wow, Mr. Magician! How did you know which card I picked?
Oh, it's
Is
simple.
that a joke that people have
Come
made
closer,
before?
And I'll let you in on my secret. Magicians have a special skill called telepathy, which means we can read other people's minds.
I would not be surprised if people have made the Cat in the Hat joke about Lenny's before.
I mean, there is a cat in his hat.
Then,
There's that.
what am I thinking now?
Both a prop and an actual cat in there sometimes, just
True.
because it apparently it claimed his hat, and just they decided, oh, you know what, let's use him for the show.
So it's a cat in a hat. It's a cat in the hat. That's part of the Cat in the Hat show.
Yeah, it's a cat in the hat who's controlling a puppet cat that's in the hat.
And it's all owned by the Cat in the Hat Lenny.
It's very interesting.
It's very funny, is what it is.
That it was literally the prime example of if I fits, I sits. It literally that Roland just decided it was going to stay in the hat and just decided this is my hat now.
Blue Not Found, hello, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to the network.
Well,
Welcome
first
to
you
Genshin.
need to relax, because I can see that you're clenching your fist in your mind, as if to say, no, I mustn't let him guess it.
Aww.
Hope you're doing
And
well
now
today.
you're getting a little flustered. You're trying to find a way to empty your mind, to think of nothing at all. But the more you try to hide a secret, the easier it'll come out.
This is just general, like, reading a person's body language, but you know what? That's half of what magic is.
You snuck out from home today, didn't you? You told your family a little lie so you could come out and play.
Do his thing.
Now, that's not a good habit.
You can tell? Oh boy. You really can read my mind.
Here's the thing. I feel like Lenny specifically is very, what's the word? acquainted with the sneaking out and lying a little bit? For multiple reasons.
Of course. Oh, and that's the end of my performance. You should really be heading home. Remember to apologize to your family, all right? They must be worried about you.
All right, got it. Bye, Mr. Magician.
Hello, our dear boy.
Hey,
Wait,
Lenny?
isn't this the story quest where you said that he basically is like, this dude is absolutely in love with you? Not to spoil what's gonna happen, but you've also told me this before.
Why, hello. We meet again. Are you looking for me?
Or am I
What's the
thinking of something
situation?
else?
Well, why don't you guess, Mr. Telepathic?
Oh, please. You didn't believe that spiel, did you? The power of telepathy is quite beyond me.
I'm sure that child would beg to differ. Seemed like you were right on the money.
That was nothing more than a little trickery. I made an educated guess based on his micro-expressions.
You would make a good detective. You want to come be detectives with us?
That, plus the fact that he was the only kid here without his parents, and he looked as guilty as sin. He made it easy for me. You guys, on the other hand? Let me guess. Don't tell me you're here for the Phantom Weasel, are you?
I feel like that's also an easy guess, considering Charlotte's here.
Wow, got it in one! Is this more of your trickery at work?
Wait, really? No trickery this time. It was pure luck. His warning letter's been the talk of the town, so I figured that maybe you were asking around about that.
Bingo! I plan on writing a column reporting on the latest news about the Phantom Weasel. So, Lenny, what are your thoughts on this infamous thief's reappearance?
To be honest, it makes me angry.
Angry? Why?
You read his letter, right? The Phantom Weasel claims he's planning something in 3 nights' time at the Opera House. That's the night I'll be performing there.
La gasp. Shock. Surprised.
Huh. What are the chances? Wait a minute, you don't think he's after you, do you?
Well, if he is, then his warning is clearly a direct challenge to me personally. And if he's not, then it's still going to be a huge headache for me.
Yeah, last time you performed a magic trick at the opera, you kind of got arrested. This dude does not have the best luck when it comes to performing at this place. I feel kind of bad for him.
The mere mention of the Weasel's name is enough to scare people off. So once the contents of that letter get out, barely anyone will be showing up to watch my show. But I've been preparing for this for a long time. I'm not about to let him ruin my big day. This leaves me with only one choice. I have to expose the Phantom Weasel's identity before the show begins.
Really? So what you're saying is, we might get to see a live duel between a famous magician and an infamous thief? Wow, this has exclusive written all over it!
To be honest, I'm not sure if I'll emerge the victor. The Phantom Weasel is a notorious crook, infamous for his inscrutable methods.
Lenny, I don't know if you've noticed. There's something I don't know if you've noticed, my dude. You're also a little bit of a crook. You're also a little bit of a criminal. The reason you're not notorious is because you're actually really good at it.
Not by choice.
Honest, Lenny,
I never said it was
I
by
think your magic
choice.
tricks are even more
I
inscrutable
said
than
that I
those
was
of a
stating
thief.
facts.
Thanks for the compliment, though I have to say, I don't care much for the comparison. A lot of people liken magicians to thieves because we both have the ability to make things disappear without the person noticing. But there's an important difference that these people overlook.
I have never likened a magician to a thief in my life. Except for the movie Now You See It.
Allow me to demonstrate with a quick magic trick. Here, I have a flower, just an ordinary flower that was picked not long ago. Watch it carefully now. 3, 2, 1.
Alright, I appreciate the trick of the camera there.
It's gone!
That's the question. Where did it go? Therein lies the difference between us. Thieves make precious things disappear, but only magicians make them reappear. If I could now invite you all to check your clothes, there might be a surprise in there somewhere.
A surprise? Let me see!
I don't think we really need to look inside anywhere. How did he do that?
It's right there! But how? You haven't moved this whole time!
What an outstanding trick! Sorry, Lenny, it seems that my previous praise was woefully inadequate. Clearly, magic is the superior art form to theft.
Don't worry, I didn't take offense. I just wanted to take the opportunity to perhaps change some of the preconceived notions you might have about magicians. Since Caesar's death, a lot of people associate magicians with criminality. It can be quite frustrating.
I can imagine. Coming back to your trick just now, might I presume that you are well versed in floral symbolism?
Once again, I have to reiterate, although it has nothing to do with you being a magician, you are in fact a criminal.
For example, magicians often use rainbow roses in their flower-related performances to represent passion and romantic encounters.
Like, I'm not trying to be rude.
But you used a Lumidu spell, which, if I'm not mistaken, allude to separations. I'm curious to know if there was any deeper meaning behind this choice?
Impressive knowledge. It's no wonder you're such a successful journalist. But I'm afraid I don't know the first thing about floral symbolism. I'm just in the habit of using Lumidu spells in my magic. It sounds like something I should look into, though. I'll buy myself a copy of Fontaine's Floral Language Facts when I have some time. But it'll have to wait until this phantom weasel business is behind us.
An idea that people came up with, like, which would make sense, the idea that he uses Lumidu spells because they'd be Lynette's favorite flower. Because that is her level up, because that's her level up ascension material.
That's amazing. I love that. That is, I don't care if that's not canon. I'm accepting that as my headcanon. The end. I was gonna say that, just from a meta perspective, this feels like this might come up again later. The language of flowers.
His ascension material is rainbow roses, which is also very cute.
I, for one, am looking forward to the final showdown between you and the thief. Please feel free to get in touch to update me on any further developments. Otherwise, I will of course see you at your show in 3 days' time, but let's hope the Phantom Weasel is caught by then. If there's nothing else, I'll be off. You've given me lots to work with here, and I've got no time to lose if I want to write that exclusive piece. I'll see you all later.
Farewell, Charlotte. Go forth and write.
So, Lenny, are you gonna tell us how you did that flower trick now?
I'm afraid that's my little secret.
Aww. Well, magicians are entitled to their secrets.
Hi, Delphi.
But Paimon's really itching to know
Surprise,
how it's
motherfucker.
done.
There it is. I'm surprised you didn't start with that. How you
Feeling
doing?
cute, right? So itchy.
Not so itchy then, huh? Well, since you're so concerned, how would you like to serve as my temporary magician's assistant and help me investigate?
You have coffee? Is it good coffee? Or is it coffee just to have coffee?
Magician's assistants? Oh, that sounds fun. Assistants are technically magicians
BGM
too.
just gives me PTSD now every time I listen to it.
Coffee to have coffee? Well, I hope you enjoy your coffee to have coffee anyways, Delphi. This background music makes you cry?
It gives me PTSD.
Oh. I don't know why I immediately likened that to you crying.
I mean, yeah, same thing.
I've known you a very long time.
Also, it'll bring us one step closer to figuring out how that darn trick is done.
It's like, it's a different arrangement, but it's the same song that's used during the last Archon quest.
During the last Archon
During
quest?
the dance sequence. Before the sword falls.
Oh, right. Yes, that. Ooh. Yes.
Yeah, it's a different arrangement. It's the same song.
Yeah, nope, I can hear it though. I was gonna say something, then I forgot what it was.
Excellent. Thank you for putting your trust in moi. The
I think I
first
was
thing
gonna
we
say
need to
something,
look
but I think
into
I
is who Caesar really was. If he truly was the
Stuff for next
Phantom
week.
Weasel, that means that the Weasel is dead, and whoever wrote this warning letter is just a copycat criminal. But if he wasn't the Weasel? Well, that'll make things more interesting. It would mean that the Weasel lives, and he's been laying low all this time in some corner of Fontaine. And if we're investigating Caesar, his fiancée Gemma is a good place to start. Word is that she visits the cemetery often, so I asked Lynette to wait for her there.
See, the interesting thing about that specific line tells me, motherfucker, you were investigating this with or without us. Like, he was prepared. To be fair, he kind of mentioned as much. This Lenny has a gender that is very envy. I can agree with that.
We should make a move.
He
Let's go and
indeed
rendezvous with
very
Lynette.
gender.
I think him and his sister both.
Because that was a thing. Apparently, like, the Korean fan base hated him because he was too feminine.
Really?
Or they thought he was, like literally, like, too gay.
The Korean fan
They're
base?
just like, yes.
And not the Chinese, okay?
The Korean fan base.
Huh. I would not have called that. To be fair, I guess I don't know much about Korean culture in that regard.
I think it was mainly a lot of people being mad they got baited.
Baited by what?
Just thinking he was a girl. They
What
thought
you're
they had a waifu.
Speed.
So what you're saying is they were horny and they realized that they were...
It was the incels thinking they had a waifu.
Oh my god.
You took your time.
Sorry, I bumped into the Traveler and Charlotte en route, and we ended up chatting for a while.
They got horny and then they got mad that they were horny.
Yeah.
Well, Lynette,
Like, no, just fucking embrace it, you mother... Anyways, moving on.
we're working as Lenny's temporary assistants in the investigation of the Phantom Weasel.
Too
Doesn't
bad
it-
he was made for the girls and the gays.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's the garter belt.
Thank you. It's good to have you helping.
So, what's the situation? Have you seen Gemma?
Nope. I've been here a while, and she still hasn't shown up.
But okay, if we're his assistants for the investigation, doesn't that put us at the same level as Lynette, who is also his assistant?
How bizarre.
Pens.
Maybe it was bad intel. Well, we won't get anywhere by
Because she's
standing around
his sister
waiting.
first, assistant
Traveler,
second.
Paimon, let's go ask
Yeah,
around.
but we were there, we were lawyers first, and now we're assistants. I think we've got demoted.
Excuse me, good sir. Do you by any chance know a Gemma?
Gemma? You mean Caesar's fiance? Sure I do. What's this about?
I'm just trying to get a hold of her because I need her help with something. I heard she comes here a lot.
Funny that you would mention that immediately. Like, he's been dead for 10 years. And, like, that's your first thing that you want to say is, oh, you mean the fiance of that criminal thief who died?
Yeah, she does. Poor thing. It's no secret why either.
Also, B,
She's
how much does it
heartsick.
hurt you to see that chest in the background?
Ever since Caesar passed
Going
away,
to say
she's coming
something.
to my house every week to clean his grave. Often she just sits there in front of his headstone, lost in thought. Sometimes she talks to herself.
Yeah, I'll go get it in a minute.
I asked her what she was
after
doing
this.
once. She said she wanted to speak to him again. She knows he's gone and can't hear her from the grave, but she just likes to spend time there, telling her fiance all about how her life is going.
And she's been doing this ever since Caesar passed away? Oh, so 10 years. Wow. Their love must have been really strong.
I'll bet. Caesar's reputation fell apart after his identity was revealed, so no one else visits his grave. Gemma's the only one who still thinks about him after all these years. I don't know if the mind lives on in the waters after death, but if if it does. I'm sure Caesar must be grateful to have someone who remembers him fondly. If I'm honest, I think this is all so unfair to poor Gemma. Her fiancé was a low-life crook. He doesn't deserve someone like her. Anyway, all of that said, she's running later than usual today. Normally, she'd be sitting in front of his grave by now. I wonder if she's okay. Well, that's everything I know, I'm afraid. You might have more luck asking some other people.
All right, well, thanks for sharing all of this with us. We'll keep asking around.
You're welcome. I just hope she'll be able to move on one day.
Something about the way he said that, it just like... There's something sparking in my brain. Like, writing-wise. Excuse me, big robots, who are nice friends. I need to kill you real fast, if you don't mind.
Crush.
I really need to work on making new teams. Just for fun. Ooh, look at all this stuff.
Love randomly making new teams. It is very fun.
At least good luck doesn't
Well, the problem is I get
discriminate
in
by
on that thing
clan.
both here and in Star Rail, where I'm just like, I'm so used to a specific team that I don't really think about it too much.
I think it ends up sometimes just because I see another character and I'm just like, I want to build you real quick and use you with stuff, and then suddenly I'm making a new team. Because that happened with me and looking at Chivrous, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna build you, and then I built her, and now I'm having a lot of fun with that team.
Yeah, I feel
The
like
only
I
thing
can
is-
make a... Yeah, if I feel like I could probably make a team with Nahida, Zhongli, Raiden, and Nervalette, and that'd be pretty good. I just need to actually work on them. For
actually-
Hyperbloom.
Oh right, you have the setup for my stupid autoplay team.
Your autoplay...
Zhongli, Nahida, Raiden, Yai. Just set skills and then just stand there. That's it. You don't need to do anything.
Alright, I was thinking more of a Hyperbloom team, but you know what, that would work too.
No, I was just saying because that's my fun grinding team. Just because it's just straight AFK until you need to reset your skills.
That's not a bad idea. I might look into that. Because the only one I would need to work on more is... Okay, who was it? It's Nahida, Yai... Who else?
It's
Zhongli
Nahida,
and-
Yai, Zhongli, Raiden.
Whatever would you do without me?
Well, we're just gonna save that for later. Especially because Nahida's only 60 and Raiden's only 50.
I just have a lot of random teams I've just been using for stupid stuff. Got my Unga Bunga Geo, I've got my Overload team because I wanted to build Chevros, and now I've been having a lot of fun with that. I have still technically Unga Bunga, but it's Risley just because he's punching everything. I have my Lenny team that I use for everything,
more
and
than
it's
5
kind of
teams?
gross. You can have like 10.
Oh, I only have 5 because... Oh. Oh. Me just mashing the... You can have 15 apparently. And I did not know that.
Oh, they... Hold up a goddamn sec. Wait a minute.
I just mashed the triangle button to create more teams, and it says, hey, 15 to 15. I'm like, oh.
Wait up.
Well,
wait
this,
a goddamn
this changes a lot of
second.
things.
Did I reach up to 50? There's a good chance I didn't notice, and I already have up to 15. But
Did you hear the news? They're saying the Phantom Weasel's back.
Well, see, now that opens up a lot of possibilities, because now I can have a lot more teams just ready for just about anything.
oh god, now I'm gonna make more teams. Shit.
Oh no, I think I just gave B homework.
Because I think I already had like 3 teams anyway that was literally just specifically for mobility.
I accidentally gave B homework.
No, it's because like sometimes I have to switch them around because sometimes I'd have a team specifically for like getting around. I have a team for gathering materials. I have a team for just AFK grinding, just like that kind of stuff.
I don't know anymore. All sorts of news flying around nowadays. I can never tell what's true and what isn't. But what if, just hypothetically, I mean, What if this weasel's the real deal and Caesar was framed?
Called it. Seriously, 10 years ago, on the day it all went down, I said to myself, you know what? This guy's been set up. The Caesar I knew was a good guy. He gave balloons to children on the street, for Pete's sake. What, are
Holy
we
shit,
supposed to
I do
believe
have
that he
5
was
more
a
teams to set up.
balloon thief or something? Give me a break.
Let me just get my go ahead and get
Alright,
my
two things
mobility
about this
team set.
guy. Hi, Bye Beast.
Uh,
Two things about this guy. One, why does he look like he's gone Super Saiyan? Two, I call bullshit on your story for knowing that he was framed 10 years ago. Gonna put that out there.
Oh,
How you doing, Bye Beast? Hope you're well.
Weren't you the one cursing his name to high heaven when the police announced the news? You were all, that gosh darn lousy son of a, you think you know a guy, or words to that effect.
Wait, did I say that? I don't seem to recall.
Hello there. Sorry for disturbing you, but I couldn't help but notice you were discussing the Phantom Weasel. We're actually quite interested in this topic as well, but we're struggling to get to the bottom of it. Do you think you could spare a moment to tell us a little bit about Caesar?
You've come to the right people. Yep, I was there. Back when Caesar used to perform magic tricks on the street. He was a great magician. The best trick I ever saw him do was pop a transparent balloon, only for a whole bunch of doves to fly out from the inside. I was right up close and didn't blink or look away once. But for the life of me, I still don't have the faintest clue how he pulled it off. Really incredible stuff.
Very likely the doves were not inside the balloon. They were just like hidden behind him or something, and they just came out as he popped it.
I saw him perform too. He always used to bring some gifts along for the kids who came to watch his show, and he'd hand them out after he was done. Sometimes he even got the kids to write their wishes down, and then he'd make the items on the wish list appear in his next show.
Huh. He doesn't sound like such a bad guy.
But after he died, there were also rumors that he used the wish list to find out what was precious to people, with the intent to steal it later. As I'm sure you know, the Phantom Weasel would steal just about anything from anyone.
What if the Phantom Weasel was literally just a weasel? What if it just straight up was a treasure weasel? And everyone just blamed it on this guy?
Whatever the case, now that the weasel is back, Caesar's become a hot topic once more. I bet Gemma must be pleased. If Caesar's name gets cleared, maybe it'll finally give her some solace after all this time.
So Jim is behind it, is what you're saying.
No, speak of the devil. That's her over there. If you've got any more questions about Caesar, she's definitely the one to ask.
Is that not feeling sensitive? I know he's been dead for 10 years, but still.
So that's Gemma. Is it just Paimon, or does it look like something's wrong? Wait, it looks like she's injured. Come on, let's see if she's okay. Hi there. You're Gemma, right?
Who's asking?
You like her dress.
Don't be afraid, we mean no harm. It looks like you're injured. How bad is it?
Thanks for your concern, but you didn't answer my question. Who are you, and what do you want with me?
My name is Linny, and this is my sister Lynette.
My name's Paimon, and this here's the Traveler. We're investigating the Phantom Weasel.
The Weasel posted a warning letter this morning. If he still lives, that means that Caesar was falsely accused. You knew Caesar better than anyone else. So if you're willing, we'd love to hear what you think about all this. I promise you can trust us. We won't hurt you. In fact, we'll do all we can to keep you safe.
I never believed that he was the Weasel.
Huh. I suspected as much. Okay, so going back 10 years, do you remember anything strange in the weeks leading up to the accident? Did Caesar have a falling out with anyone, for instance?
No, not that I know of.
Got it. All right, sorry for disturbing you.
If you don't have any more questions, please leave. I want to be alone with him.
That was a very brief interrogation.
Judging by the look on her face, there's definitely something fishy about her.
She's lying. She definitely knows something.
That's fair. We're just a bunch of strangers who showed up and started questioning her about things that happened a whole decade ago. It makes sense that she'd be wary around us.
And you didn't think about this before coming here.
In any case, I doubt we'll get any further here, so let's call it a day. Meet me outside Hotel de Boer tomorrow, and then we'll start the next step of our plan.
It's always unfortunate. It's like, hey, wait until the next day at this time. It's like, well, shoot, that's a full 24 hours of waiting. Yeah, wait till the next morning. Boo. That being said, I always love waiting features in video games because it makes my brain good. Just go, we're just sitting here in this one spot for like 24 hours. We're not moving, we're not eating, we're not doing anything. Everyone just walking around us, just being like, what the fuck is going on with them?
Over here.
Lynette's not joining us today?
I've had her follow Gemma and see if we can make any inroads with her. They should be at a cafe right now.
I'm sorry, you had her follow and or stalk and or whatever?
Still, I don't think that Gemma's likely to open up to us. So, we need a contingency plan. Today, we'll be looking into a guy named Lorenzo, Caesar's former pupil and assistant. When Caesar passed away, all the stolen goods discovered in his home were confiscated and returned to their rightful owners. But Lorenzo was the only one privy to all his magic secrets, and he inherited his craft. Before long, Lorenzo was the next big magician in town, his fame surpassing even that of his master, and it made him very wealthy. He's since left the magic scene though, and these days, he's a wealthy businessman with his fingers in a lot of different pies.
You went from something as wholesome and everyone loves you as a magician to, I'm gonna be a businessman. It's like, why?
I had to pull a lot of strings, but I managed to get him to agree to a couple of drinks with me. Be warned though, I hear he's got a hair-triggered temper. We'd best be careful.
Don't piss him off, got it. Or do piss him off, actually. That might actually be good. You never know. I've been known to annoy a few people.
You neglected to mention that you were bringing 2 other people with you.
My apologies. These 2 are my assistants. When they heard that I was meeting with the former magic maestro himself, they begged and pleaded with me to bring them along. And if it's no trouble, a couple of autographs would really make their day.
You are a talented liar, and I love you for that.
Oh, forget the pleasantries, just sit.
Get a load of this guy. Forget the pleasantries, he says, but he looks pretty happy about Lenny stroking his ego.
I only agreed to meet since we're both magicians. Do me a favor and cut to the chase. I have more important things to do than drinking.
Much obliged, sir. As it happens, the matter I want to address is also related to magic.
Tell me your secrets. You've already given up. Just tell me everything. Wait, that's what we're here for?
Yesterday morning, a warning letter from the Phantom Weasel appeared on the entrance to the Opera House. He claims to be planning something for the same evening that I'm scheduled to do a magic show there. As such, I believe that I may well be his target. I have to get to the bottom of this to ensure that my show can go ahead as planned. Naturally, any investigation into the Weasel starts with a few questions about Caesar, who...
What is there to investigate? Caesar was the Weasel and he's been dead for 10 years. So what if some sick creep thought it'd be funny to write a warning letter? It changes nothing. Are you trying to tell me you actually bought it?
Okay, I don't like you. Like, I had a feeling that I wouldn't like you. It's sad to see that I was right.
Please, sir, no need to get so worked up. I do concede that a copycat is but one possibility.
Possibility? It's a fact, Linny. Look, my patience is limited, so listen carefully while I'm still willing to put up with you. The weasel is dead. Period. Everyone knows that, so do yourself a favor and quit this investigation. It'll lead you nowhere. Look, if this affects your magic show in any way, I will personally compensate you for any losses.
Are you the weasel? Wait. Hold on. What if Lorenzo is the weasel and the warning letter is fake, but it's specifically so that they could find the original real copycat? Or the original real Phantom Weasel? That'd be galaxy braining. Bee's not saying anything. She's either deep in thought in something else, or I fucking
Oh,
called it.
sorry. Yeah, I was doing something.
Doesn't
I
mean
mean,
that
even if
call
you
it.
did, I would. Even if you did, I wouldn't say anything.
Oh, I know. But I like having my crazy theories that may or may not be even remotely true.
Oh, sir, I'm honored, really. But this isn't about finances for me. My pride as a magician is what's at stake here, Lorenzo. Copycat or not, this person has thrown me the gauntlet, and I must meet their challenge head on.
Your pride? Don't mince words with me, boy. Just tell me, what exactly are you seeking to do?
I want to find out the Phantom Weasel's true identity. I have to know for myself what really happened 10 years ago.
What would that accomplish? And what do the events of 10 years ago have to do with you anyway? Look, you of all people should know that a magician never reveals their secrets. And in any case, dead men don't talk. So if you really care about your magician's pride, then you'll forget about Caesar and move on.
Uh-oh. This is getting awkward.
Lorenzo? Is that? Oh, it is you! I know that big, booming voice anywhere. What's up, my man? Want to grab a drink with me?
The hell are you?
Another day, I'm busy.
Oh, come on. You can't be all business all the time.
You are
You
very
know what
drunk,
they
sir?
say?
It is 8 in the
Live
morning. What are
fast,
you doing?
Die young. You gotta learn how to kick back and relax once in a while.
Like, straight up, we know for a fact that it's like somewhere between 8 and 9 in the morning, and this dude is already so far gone.
If I wanted your life advice, I'd ask for it. Now get out of my face and go be drunk somewhere else.
Sorry, my good sir. I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Oh, hey! Edmondo. He and I are business pals. We worked together a bunch of times. This is your first time meeting him? Oh, he's always like this. Foul-mouthed and hard-nosed. Never heard a kind word out of this guy the whole time I've known him. And he wonders why he can't get a girlfriend, despite being, what, pushing 40, 30, something? Anyway, point is, a lot older than when he first got rejected by the girl he was into. And he's still into, from what I hear.
Hey, my dude, I think I know what her name might be. I think I know what this... Ooh.
Shut up and get out of my face. Another word out of you and you can forget about doing business with me ever again.
Motherfucker,
make myself
did you
clear?
blame your master and friend on being a thief so that you had a chance with this fucking girlfriend? Is that what you did?
Sorry, I may have had a little too much to drink. All right, I'm gonna leave. Don't work too hard.
What the fuck? If I'm right, I'm gonna be so pissed at this dude.
I think it's high time I made a move as well. If you really want to investigate this, Linny, be my guest. But if nothing good comes of it, don't say I didn't warn you.
I've connected the dots.
Well, that fell to pieces in a rather
You
spectacular
connect
fashion.
shit.
I've
Any
connected them.
thoughts?
Totally. And what was your losses. Why would someone you just met make an offer like that? He's gotta be hiding something. And not like Gemma. She was a little suspicious, but this guy's definitely covering something up.
I think so too. We need to look into Lorenzo more closely.
I'm going to give myself a 75% chance that I've already figured out everything. I know the who, I know the why, I know his motives, I know what he did.
That guy Edmondo seems to know a thing or two about him. He only just left. Let's see if we can catch up with him.
I know that he's a complete, total asshole. Mondo, would you like to spill more beans on your friend? What's the tea? Where'd you go?
More speed.
Or would you prefer, like, spilling the beer? Is that... Do we need to change the analogy for you? Are you more of a wine
You
person?
okay there?
Who are you?
Wow, you sobered up fast.
Oh, it's you guys.
Okay, never mind.
Don't worry about me. I must have had one too many.
No,
I
you're just that
need to
drunk. Okay.
Ride it out. I say way too much back there, didn't I? Yeah, I nearly talked myself into complete financial ruin. Note to self, no more drunken chats when Lorenzo's around.
So, he was serious about threatening to cut you off? Ugh, Paimon knew he was a bad egg.
Hey, keep your voice down. Don't go prying into Lorenzo's personal affairs. Bad things happen to people who ask too many questions or make an enemy out of him.
Yeah, that's not suspicious at all. What do you think? Totally normal for for bad things to happen to people who mess with this guy. Yeah, good.
What kind of bad things?
Don't even ask. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to cut this conversation short. I'm not crossing that line again.
Do you know the name Gemma?
And take it from me, trouble with Lorenzo is one thing you don't need in your life. You saw him flare up back there. I don't know what you said to him, but clearly it touched a nerve. That's not a good sign. You're too young for this. Don't get in over your head. I'm leaving.
Do you need a cab? Do you need to throw up? Do you need a pat on the back? Do you need some coffee? A slap in the face? Will that help?
And there he goes. What do we do now, Lenny?
Shh. I think we're being watched. Someone was listening in to our whole conversation.
Yeah, they're not being very subtle about it either. I mean, look at him.
Don't say anything and don't look back. Any altercation in the city will attract the guards. We'd better take this elsewhere.
Not exactly conspicuous. No, inconspicuous. I know words.
More speed.
Ignore the treasure chest that has not been grabbed
You
yet.
followed us a long way. Why don't you come out and introduce yourselves?
Ooh, there's a bunch
so
of them.
you're Lenny. And where's your sister? Ain't she with you today?
Oh my goodness, we found the Fontanian mob.
I mean, we already did with Navia. These are just some knockoffs.
You're not wrong. But these are more like the traditional, like, bad guys mobs. Navi is like the good mob.
Save us the trouble and go fetch her for us. Let's not drag this out.
Dude's name is Smooth-Faced Pacino. What was that?
No, I was saying fucking smooth face Pacino.
Okay, we were just commenting on the same thing. Like, so is it called that because you use a lot of moisturizer and lotion? Like, what's your skincare routine? You're so smooth. Or is it just because you can't grow a beard for shit? It's okay, it's something to be ashamed of.
Mister, who sent you, huh?
save your questions, missy.
Painter De
You're
Niro.
gonna need answers where you're going. Capiche?
Do you like... Are you like an art major?
Looks like we
Wh-
can't
What's your
avoid
medium of
this
choice?
fight.
Chalk, charcoal, graphite, or do you... I guess paint. Paint would... Like oils, watercolor.
Now, I'm not the strongest fighter, so I hope you're ready to back me up.
Don't worry, we got this!
He said lying.
Like a lying ass bastard. We know for a fact that you can...
His thing usually is just like charge attack, charge attack level 2, charge attack level 2, burst, and you have Bennett, then Bennett burst, and then charge attack, then skill. It's like very hard to explain.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh wait, no, he's fine. Because then you should be able to just charge attack again, and then skill.
Okay, so it blows up. So charge attack level 2 drops the
Tougher
cats,
than we
and
thought.
your skill blows
Yeah.
them up.
Yeah, or
Okay,
it'll
cool.
blow up after a certain amount of time, and it's a taunt.
Oh, love taunts. Taunts are good.
Because usually his thing is like he loses HP every time he does a charge attack. He can't go below, I think, 60. His burst gives him 2 more stacks. His skill then will detonate the cat, and it heals him.
Ooh. So he's very much a... My HP is going to go absolutely fucking bonkers constantly.
Yeah, so you run him with Bennett, you're set.
Vision wielders are always trouble. Intimidation ain't gonna work like it
It's
did
like
on
Bennett's
the lady.
heal circle can basically abuse the HP fluctuation, so you can get just your 5 stacks easy, because it goes up to 5 stacks, and then you can just let all hell break loose.
Cool. Also, they're straight up admitting to the fact that they are A, bad guys, and B, that they intimidated some lady, which is absolutely Gemma. Thanks for all the information, you losers.
Come on, let's scram!
Hurry, wise guys! We ain't through with you yet! Oh, they got away! Did you catch what they said just before they left? Something about intimidating someone else. Sounds like they just wanted to rough us up as a scare tactic, and they've already done it to someone else, but who?
I mean, her hand was injured, so I think we know who it was, and she was late.
She was injured when we saw her yesterday, and she acted like she had something to hide. Maybe she was too scared to tell us the truth because those guys had threatened her.
Well, if that's the case, she should be more willing to open up to us once she learns that those thugs won't be bothering her anymore. Let's head back to the cafe and see if we can get any information from her.
Em, it's okay, you can trust us. We beat the shit out of those guys. And we'll do it again. I love punching the ground so hard that it takes damage and you don't. Always the best.
Gemma?
You again. What is it this time?
We just ran into the men who've been threatening you, and we gave them a taste of their own medicine. So, you can relax now. We're here to protect you.
What? Why? I didn't tell you anything. Why would they come after you?
Sounds like they're no strangers to you.
It's because they're bad people and also they're stupid. They're not smart. They're very not smart.
That's putting it mildly. I know them all too well, and I hate them with every fiber of my being. It's been 10 long years, and still every time I try to look into Caesar's death, they show up and warn me not to do anything stupid.
Her whole outfit screams that she's been in mourning for the past 10 years.
How do I know I can trust you? Do you really think you can get to the bottom of it all? And why are you doing this?
Selfish reasons.
I'm afraid I can't reveal all the details just yet, but I can promise you this. I will expose the Phantom Weasel's true identity. Because you see, this is a personal matter of the utmost importance. I give you my word. Trust me.
Okay. How can I help you?
This dude's charisma is off the charts. Maxed out fucking persuasion and deception
I've
skills.
heard that Caesar used to have a magic workshop where he kept a lot of his personal effects.
People
If
just call
possible,
him the
I'd like
fucking
to take a look
musician.
at them.
The musician? Oh my god. I mean, it's not wrong. He's definitely got the riz. It's...
Do you know where it
his
is?
riz both exists and it doesn't at the same time. It exists as a facade.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of riz sometimes is.
The Fleuve Sonde. But the place was sealed up by the police after his death, and no one's been there since. I also know that the Fleuve Sonde is dangerous territory. Lots of hostile groups lurking around.
That is mine.
If you're serious about going there, please be careful.
Understood. Lynette, you stay here and take care of Gemma. Don't let her come to harm.
Got it. But if I'm staying here, I'm ordering dessert.
You can have it on Linny. Linny, you can pay for that, right? You're a famous magician. You have money.
I mean, bon appetit. But stay sharp, too. They're likely to come for you while I'm away.
Okay. Alright. Power saving mode off. I'll start taking this more seriously now.
I love that she sometimes talks like a robot.
I remember she says that she does it so literally so people will leave her alone. It's just like she literally does so people don't talk to her.
I mean, mood,
Which,
fair.
Understandable.
Ignore the fact that I have apps that I've never gone to a lot of the restaurants in Fontaine, so I don't have the recipes. Ignore that.
Every time a new place comes or a new character comes, I'm always looking for recipes. I like collecting recipes for no reason, even if I don't use half of them.
Food good. Is that why?
Yeah, that, and if I have the character, I like just having at least a couple of their specialties on hand.
I like just seeing what it is.
Just because I like looking at it. Some of them I will use, other ones I just like having them collected there.
How do I... Oh, here we go. I completely forgot that this area was down here. I'm gonna be real. I forgot about this entire underground network.
If Gemma gave us the right location, then the workshop should be right nearby. Huh. Looks like these boxes are blocking the entrance. Let's shift them away first.
Get rid of the boxes, you got it. Brings out my sword. That's what you meant, right? Oh, we're just moving them. Oh, that's
There we go.
That's fun.
It should be just down here.
Why was it... Hello? Oh, it's a domain. I will say it's very funny now to see the top of the... Where before there were only 5, now there's 1,000 of them up here.
Yeah.
I'll have to go through that later. I don't want to do that right now.
Wait, I never did check when I did this. What fucking artifacts do they have on him?
Good. Noblesse oblige, probably.
Probably. God damn it!
What, have they ever done anything else? Have they ever done anything else in domains?
Because they have him. I'm pretty sure they have him C2. Oh, C3. That's even worse.
He does have his bow, though.
Yeah. They usually do that, but yeah.
And really high-level talents. Ooh, I love the music down here.
Like, the fucking story quests, they give them all no, but you actually do the fucking trial runs, they always have the goddamn best sets on.
Yeah, trial run.
Not-
It's interesting that the trial runs are always the best, and everything else is always. Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting that.
Put Monstro say on him.
I'm gonna be real. I wasn't expecting that to drop.
Stand with me.
So this was Caesar's workshop. Nothing suspicious here, just normal magic props. Let's head in further.
I don't know. I feel like this weird platform here is kind of strange.
The bond is strong.
Oh, this is some really good, like, chill music. I love it so much.
Caesar's gadgets? Guess we must have triggered some sort of device.
Oh, right. I can't. I'm like, why aren't I climbing domain? Silly me.
I mean, that's to shoot them, so you don't have to move. So you don't. So you have no
I
need to
forgot I
climb.
I'm gonna be honest. I forgot I had Lenny for a second. I'm gonna be real.
And voila!
Solidify!
This way.
Whoa.
Okay, he's pretty strong.
The doll in the box is glowing.
Oh, and off they go.
Hey, Fontaine's gonna come out. We're going to make some incredibly stupidly strong characters.
There's something written on the card on this doll.
Because I love grinding out a domain, and Navia just is a casual 240k.
Jeez. I want a robot with cool powers. You need your parents' permission to own a pet, and you also need to take good care of it. I brought a fluffy toy dove for you this time. If you're ready to own a pet, I'll make a real dove appear for you next time. Aww. Okay, yeah, I think I 100% have figured out what's going on here. Also, Jesus Christ, this workshop is huge. I want a bucket of fried chicken that never runs out. Just go to KFC.
Relatable. Relatable.
Well, okay, don't go to KFC. Go somewhere that has better chicken.
KFC chicken's pretty good. To be fair, I'm just used to
fine.
KFC. My family's black. This is just what we do.
What about Popeyes, though? Is or Church's?
They're not as good.
Interesting.
And I know my dad used to also work at churches when he was like way younger, but especially KFC, the mac and cheese at KFC just hits different. Just something about it.
Eating too much fried food is bad for you. Make sure to pair it with something healthy, like a salad. You can't tell me what to do. Nom 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 gets a tummy ache.
The bond is strong.
I want to be the chicken. I'm usually eat broccoli anyway.
Broccoli's good. I do like broccoli.
Looks like we've reached the end of this route. Shall we try a different one?
I'm looking for a treasure chest, Paimon. Don't worry about it.
Also, I'm gonna say it. Brussels sprouts are good. People are just cowards.
It's also about how you cook them.
Yeah,
it's
it
also
is
about how you cook
it.
Like, one of the only vegetables so far that I really don't like is cauliflower. But like, if I like fry it in it, like saute it in a pan, it's fine. It's not my favorite, but it's fine.
A while.
Hmm?
I haven't had cauliflower in a while.
It's fine. I mainly have it because it comes like a vegetable medley with like carrots and some other stuff, and it's like carrots.
I do like it. It just is very much like how you decide to like prepare it.
What's this do?
These magic boxes are moving. What do we do?
One of them looks different from the rest. Let's investigate.
Wait, was it that one?
Got it. We're supposed to find the box that lit up at the start, right? There should be another wish list inside.
Alright, hold on.
Let's
Okay,
keep
middle
trying.
one. I got my eye on you, bitch. I see you. Got it. I wish my parents would get back to. Oh god, that's too real.
Like, yeah.
I was not expecting that. Oops. I wish for good grades in my next exam. Okay, that one's fair. I wish for my little sister to have a normal life, free of danger. Liddy, is that you? But someone should need more than magic to make them come true. They need the power of your hard work. Was that last one Liddy? Wish you the best of luck and hope all your wishes come true.
I don't know who any of them are.
I'm watching it. 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 I'm not watching it anymore. Where'd it go? Got it. When do we get to go to your wedding, Uncle Caesar? I want to watch your shows even when I'm grown up, Uncle Caesar. Do you have to go on tour? Can you stay here with us, Uncle Caesar? This round of wishes has rather exceeded my expectations. The wedding will be held very soon and don't... Oh, no. Ooh. Ooh. A bunch of kids really were traumatized. Okay, no, Caesar was absolutely a good man, and fuck Lorenzo for killing him, because I'm sure that's what happened. I'm gonna go kick his ass. He shall die by my hand.
That's weird. Have we reached the end already? There's nothing here. Maybe this was a wasted trip.
This place seems a little too ordinary for a magician's workshop. There's a distinct lack of mystery.
Lenny, what do you mean everything in the past several rooms was normal? The moving platforms.
Normal. Fontaine. It's normal for Fontaine.
You know what? Fair.
We've triggered quite a few devices on the way here. I'm starting to wonder whether Caesar built this whole place as one big, elaborate magic contraption. If so, then there must be more to this place than meets the eye. Maybe a hidden room somewhere. Aha! If I just move this book, then hopefully... And... presto!
A secret passageway! How did you know?
Magician's intuition?
I'm a magician too, and apparently great minds really do think alike. Looks pretty big inside. Let's head in and take a look around.
Treasure chest, that's the only thing I care about. I'm gonna rob this dead guy.
The chest?
Mine. What was that?
No, I said that's always my first instinct. I'm just like, chest.
Chest. I was looking around for them, they didn't show me. Uh-oh.
Step right up.
Stand with me.
Go, doggy. Go after the little kitty.
And voila!
God damn, he really is powerful.
Very good.
Like, normally I'd just be hacking away at... Well, to be fair, Eula could have also taken them out in like 10 seconds, but... Still.
I was not gonna pull for him because I was like, I don't like bows. This is the most fun I've had with a bow character.
Well, especially now that you're actually able to play properly.
Well, I mean, even before, I got it like before all this.
True.
I got like my PC.
Uh-oh.
Stabilize.
Our bond is strong. Beg for mercy.
Just do his first. That's the fun part.
Well,
For
I know, but I
stupid
don't
reasons.
I don't want to waste it though. There's like one guy.
Shut up.
You know?
Oh yeah.
My brain is just like save it for when you absolutely need it. Which in turn means I don't use stuff a whole lot unless I'm in like a big boss battle.
Is there some
Yeah,
device?
because his burst like is usually not mainly meant for damage. He gets two free stacks when he uses his burst, and you can like because you use your burst, you can run around with it, or you can just use your skill to like cancel out of it because you don't really need to do anything with it.
Huh.
It is a
looks
cute burst
familiar
though, I will
somehow.
give it that.
Yeah,
Let me
so
check this
sometimes
out for a
running
second
around
while you
like a
guys go
cat
on
is
ahead.
just funny.
And it's adorable, especially when you're doing co-op and so you don't have to worry about being the only thing around.
Yeah, and the fact that remember when we were playing, I learned that it works on a plane. When I use my fucking flower to get up on top
Oh, that was
and go to the fucking corolla of that flower, and I'm just running around a circle in the air.
That was really funny. That was good. I love that every time we play together, we almost always find something to break. Like in the fact in a domain, or not in a domain, yeah, I guess the domains you can.
Funny, like that wasn't even breaking. That was just unfortunate circumstances.
Unfortunate for the game, fortunate for us. Found a way to cheat it.
Especially because, yeah, because you can do that because there was a thing about like people doing co-op before and just locking people out of doing the domain.
If anyone makes a major discovery, let's rendezvous here.
All right. See you in a bit.
But now it's like hard to do that since they now teleport you like right in front of the key.
Well, yeah, but then you can just. It's hard to do that on accident. You can still run away from it.
I was like, yeah, it's hard to do it on accident.
Ooh, look at all these little buttons. Okay, I think I know what it wants from me. Yep. Alright,
I
let me
love
think.
puzzles like this, but imagine doing this
I know
with
what to do.
Drift.
Oh yeah, that would suck, but I know exactly what to do.
It was horrid.
Well, I didn't realize I didn't step on that. I know you reset, it's fine. I saw what I have to do when I just fucked up. I've already solved the puzzle.
I love puzzles like this so much,
Oh,
but Drift
seems like we can't step
just
on the same
ever
tile
so
twice.
slightly
Guess we've got to finish
pushing
it in
you
one
off
run,
the
huh?
platform.
Did you see what just happened? Like, that wasn't even drift, that was just me, like,
Yeah.
the hitbox on it is not quite the entire panel. That fucked me up. It's like, no, I was there! Curse you.
Yeah, because like skipping couldn't do that. I had to wait for them to line up. Because if I tried to do that, it would just completely fuck up because my controller just would not work with the input.
F. F in the chat. Oh, we gotta go again. Oh, no, it's not. It just made a hat. I was like, no, I'll go for round 2. Why not? Hello, secrets.
Wow, there's a hidden
Ooh.
room here.
I have a question.
Let's see. Oh, this book
How are these balloons still inflated? After 10 years?
Principles of magic.
Magic.
Much too advanced for Paimon.
Animo. Do you think he had an animo vision?
Is that Caesar's diary on the table?
If he had an animo vision, he could have saved himself.
Ooh.
I
Fucking
think
brutal.
This is the question.
I mean, you're not wrong, but well, to be fair, not all animo users can fly.
They still use the wind.
Fair enough.
This book's thick as Let's take a peek inside it, shall we?
About the wish list. Sure, let's
One
start
of
at the
my
top.
shows a few days ago, a child asked me how I pulled candy out of my hat. As a joke, I told the kid that the hat has a built-in wish-granting machine. Next thing I know, today a whole bunch of kids were pestering me to pull all sorts of things out of the hat. So I told them another white lie. The machine needs time to power up, but in the meantime, you can write your wishes down. Well, they took me up on that offer, enthusiastically. As I write this, I've only just got back from running around all over town, buying the things they wanted. Boy, are my legs sore.
Aww.
I wound up saving very little this month, but that's not a major issue. I now have a bigger problem. How am I going to hide all these things inside my hat?
Magically. Fantastically.
2 children came to talk to me after today's show. I don't know why they were out on their own.
Linny and
They
Lynette.
looked much too young to be unsupervised.
I already got this immediately.
I do hope they got home safely. Anyway, they said that they wanted me to teach them how to do magic. It's not uncommon for children to ask this, of course, but I've never seen any of them as serious about it as these two. I told them that learning magic is very hard work, but that didn't faze them at all. It's like they already knew. They seemed so committed. I couldn't turn them down. It seems like something's bothering Lorenzo lately, but he won't open up to me about it.
Dude's in love with your girlfriend.
Surely he's not upset that I agreed to teach those 2 children. I'll have to talk him around. I have a good feeling about those kids. They're naturally talented, and it seems like they're not new to the world of magic. They have all sorts of fantastic ideas. All I'm really doing is helping them develop a more professional standard training plan. They wanted to call me Master, but I told them they absolutely mustn't. Any magician worth their salt could have taught them what I have. They're the geniuses here. Compared to them, I don't deserve to be called any sort of master. With time, I have no doubt that they could become far greater magicians than I. My only concern is why they're so mature for their age. I fear they've had to grow up too fast. I don't dare to imagine what they must have been through.
I guess I really shouldn't be surprised that Linny and Lynette are a little bit more connected to this than we originally thought.
Gemma thinks so too. She doesn't like being around them. Says that their eyes are too piercing. They don't bother me, but then again, I've never been the sharpest tool in the shed.
Did Gemma meet you with an L, and with their fingers in the shape of an L on her forehead? I couldn't figure out a way to put that in naturally.
It's nearly time for me to go on tour. I asked the 2 kids if they'd like to come with me, but they shook their heads. I once overheard them talking about their father and their mission. Sounds like their parents have other plans for them. I guess we'll be parting ways soon. It's only been 10 days since I first met them, but I think that I've gotten a feel for their personalities now. They're very tough, but also very cautious, and they trust no one but each other. This, I fear, is not a good habit to have. They hide things from me too. For example, when I asked them where they live and why they wanted to learn magic, they lied. That's the thing about children. Whenever they're trying to cover something up, it always shows somehow. I can sense that their lives have been hard, possibly even dangerous too. They're not like other children. It's a shame that I can't do more to help them.
Don't worry, they grew up just fine, no trauma whatsoever. Don't worry about it.
After thinking things over, I decided to tell them a bit about how I see the world. It's full of lies and falsehoods, and that is why we must find our own truth. P.S. I hope they won't find my nagging annoying. Children are so opinionated nowadays.
Will it do them more harm than good for someone they've only known 10 days to lecture them like that? PPS. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Children aren't interested in grand philosophies. It probably just went in one ear and out the other. I bet they've already forgotten every word I said. Oh, Caesar, Caesar. Just mind your own business next time.
Dude rambling to himself in his own diary. It's just like me.
Two magic geniuses with a father and a mission, huh?
Nope, never heard of anything like that.
Sounds a lot like he was writing about Linny and Lynette, don't you think?
Nah.
So did they meet Caesar when they were kids? Let's go ask Linny.
Lenny, we have questions for you.
Also,
what's up?
The two of them were studying magic before they got picked up by Arlecchino. So they were already practicing.
Well, but here in the words,
because he said they already had like
That's
had
true.
skills, and he was just helping them refine them. Because Lenny said that they were that was what their adoptive parent was using to kind of go around, take them to places, and that's kind of what happened after one show and Lynette.
Right.
Happened.
I kind of forgot about that. In part, because in my mind, when they were like, "Oh, they already have some skills," my brain was just like, "Sleight of hand, yes, very good for magic, also good for thieving."
Yeah, because they were on the streets.
Yeah.
Shh, hold that thought. As I expected, there's a lot of fishy things going on in this place.
Fishy? Uh-oh, what have you found?
All in good time. Before we go over our new leads, I want to tell you how a high-altitude escape is performed. First, the magician slots themselves into a magic box in full view of the audience. The box is then suspended high in the air, and a short while later, the base automatically opens. At this point, a dummy will fall out of the box, but it looks real enough to grab the audience's attention, and they start wailing and screaming. Meanwhile, the real magician, who has by now blended into the crowd, waits for a good moment to make their appearance and put on a hysterical performance. Oh no! Is that me? Did I just fall to my death?
Very vivid description. Paimon can really picture it. And then what?
The audience's gaze then turns to the magician, and by the time they realize what's happened, the dummy has vanished, as if everything that just happened was some sort of shared illusion.
So my guess is that similar to your box trick back at the beginning of Fontaine, there's supposed to be like, get into the box, go underground, and then the box is lifted up. But in his case of the failed escape, so like in that case you're never in any danger, unless the door is locked and you can't go downstairs. In which case you're in the box and no one fucking knows. They open the door and uh-oh.
Of course, that's just how I think the process should work, theoretically speaking. The inventor of this trick never performed it successfully. When the box opened, Caesar was the one who fell out, and not the dummy. He fell right to the ground from the highest point of the opera house. No one could hope to survive that fall. Not without a vision, at least. And no one else has ever attempted this trick since. My understanding of how it works is just based on what I could gather from his notes and the relevant gadgets here in his workshop.
So Caesar's famous high-altitude escape has never been done, huh?
Why do I feel like Lenny's now going to perform this high altitude escape in 2 days' time?
Paimon was about to say how cool it would have been to see it in person, but if it's that dangerous, it's probably for the best that no one else tries to do it. Wait a second. So if a dummy's supposed to drop out of the box, then where does the real magician go?
Glad you asked. That brings us to the secret of said box. This box right here is the one that Caesar constructed himself to use in the performance, and it's not as simple as it looks. Inside, there's a device that only the magician himself would know about. Once the magician's inside, and the box is lifted up into the air, the audience's view of the box is fixed at a certain angle. From where they're standing, they have a clear view of the front, sides, and bottom, but the back and the top are now no longer visible.
Really funny, 1 second. There we go, weird. Why did it do that? Oh, I guess I was quiet. Was I quiet for too long?
Just talking though.
Yeah, yeah, weird. Hold on. Very weird. Let me check something. It's not supposed to happen unless I'm inactive for like 15 minutes. Weird. That's very funny. Thank you for putting it in the chat though, because I was not looking at my phone.
I don't know why, and then it said you were also, and it had you muted too, and I'm just like, what is happening?
Discord, why are you being weird and funky? Why must you be strange? But we're all good now. Oh, okay, they have a clear view.
At this point, the magician presses a button inside the box, opening a secret door out of view.
But I need the screen share.
Oh, right. There we go.
Lord, please behave for once.
Don't be weird. Okay, so the way that they're talking is like, okay, never mind, you are in danger because it's more about the box.
He then escapes through this trapdoor onto the opera house roof, waits for the dummy to fall and distract the audience, and quietly returns to ground level.
How does he get from the roof to ground level so fast?
That's way simpler than Paimon imagined. Even Paimon could probably do it.
I feel like I have a, well, the only problem is my method involves messing with the stage.
Also practice.
Well, there's a little more to it than that, of course. The hardest part of this trick is controlling the audience's mood and reactions. That takes an exceptional degree of showmanship.
By no clip? Yeah, just open up the console and hit tilde no clip. And then you're good.
There's the falling dummy, the miraculous reappearance, the pompous performing. Maybe the magician would even have themselves tied up before it begins to strengthen the impression that there's no escape. Many days and nights of careful research and painstaking practice would have gone into this, all culminating in a performance just a few minutes long, but one that still manages to transform the shock and grief of a tragic accident to the joy and laughter of a mesmerizing magic trick. Caesar was a highly accomplished magician. But unfortunately, even he didn't manage to pull it off.
Sabotage! Sabotage! He was murdered!
So, how did it go so wrong? You said you found some fishy stuff here. Have you figured out what really happened?
I can make a pretty good guess. I looked into the case files. The magic box Caesar was using at the time of his death had the secret button I mentioned positioned on the right-hand side. And, sure enough, he always used his right hand as his dominant hand in public.
Okay. Nothing suspicious there.
But here's the strange thing. Most of the devices in this workshop have the mechanism on the left-hand side, including this box right here. Which leads me to believe that Caesar was in fact left-handed. Because a magician can't afford to have their most basic habits stand out too much. People naturally focus their attention on the most important details of the task or situation at hand. But a magician needs to be able to redirect an audience's attention at will, so as to avoid arousing their suspicion. The essence of magic is getting people to believe a lie. If even the truth raises eyebrows, the falsehoods become all the more difficult to mask. And so, Caesar trained himself to use his right hand to align with his audience's expectations. Great magic always requires sacrifices. But in his most stressful and nerve-wracking moments, and when no one was watching, reflex would kick in and he'd use his left hand. That's why he set his gadgets with the mechanism on his left. Exactly. I think that's likely what happened.
Sabotage!
Caesar would have been under a lot of time pressure during the escape. He'd have had mere seconds to open the hidden compartment, retrieve the dummy, then open the secret door and make a swift escape. But I'm sure he was confident. He would have rehearsed countless times to the point where it was second nature. He'd barely need to think about what he was doing because muscle memory would guide him through. So he opened the compartment, took out the dummy, checked everything was in order, and then went to leave. With his left hand, he reached for the button, and suddenly, his heart skipped a beat. It wasn't there. Much like when you reach for your keys but find your pocket empty, his mind needed a moment to process what was going on.
And that moment's hesitation is all it took.
Instinctively, his left hand would keep feeling around for the missing button, maybe for another second or two, until the bottom of the box gave way. With the stakes being as high as they were, just a 2-second delay cost him everything. The authorities would find nothing suspicious and conclude that his death was due to his own error.
When in reality, someone switched the boxes, and they did it to murder him. But how would they be able to make the switch without being noticed? That would be difficult to pull off, no?
Unless they were part of the show.
It would have to have been someone who knew that he was left-handed and who could move his props around without arousing suspicion. Someone who was always by his side. Isn't that right, Lorenzo?
Wait, how did he get here? I thought this place had been sealed off for 10 years.
Just couldn't let sleeping dogs lie, could you?
Of course, he
Not a lot
would
of
know
people
it's
would go
here
to all
because
this
it was
trouble
Caesar's
for some
workshop.
Well,
magician
know
who
it was
died
here
10
and knowing
years
that we're
ago.
here are two different things.
I didn't want to have to do this, you know.
To be fair, we did ask
Silencing
questions.
you the hard way just creates
fair
more
enough.
problems for me to deal with. But I gave you your chance. I hoped you'd do what's good for you and back off like the lady, but...
Okay, see, the fact that he's calling Gemma the lady, I don't know, maybe my one theory about him being in love with her is a little bit off, or maybe he's just really bitter.
You mean Gemma? So you are the one who's been threatening her!
Yes, although however stubborn she might be, she was never much of a liability. But you people, you never even knew him, but for some reason you just wouldn't drop it. Which is why you can't leave this place alive. Take them out.
Doesn't he know that we already beat the shit out of these exact 4 people already?
Do your worst!
Like, they're not exactly a threat. Oh, look, you brought a dog with you. And look, we love the dog, but...
Step right up.
Fucking get the damn cat.
Stand with me.
Hi, Monica. Hope you're doing well today.
And voila!
Hello, hello.
Gather.
We're enjoying a nice fight in the middle of a magician's workshop. With a bunch of losers.
You kids are tougher than you look.
I can make a sword appear out of thin air. What the fuck do you have?
Had enough yet, Lorenzo? Your cronies can't help you now. I think it's high time you started talking. And what I'd really like to know is, why did you murder Caesar?
If I had a mora for every time you said that man's name. Of course you idolized Caesar, everyone else did. But I was the real genius magician. Me! He was just an amateur who did cheap tricks for gullible children. I was the one who made magic into the fine art it is today. The aristocrats doffed their hats to me!
Kick him in the face! Genshin's going well. Is this the last stream because of story update? Unless B says otherwise, I think this is the last stream until the next country comes out. Is that correct?
Unless you wanted, well, it might sort of have lore, depending, because there is Arlecchino's story quest coming.
The game never ends.
But that's not until the next patch.
True. We're gonna start Persona. We're gonna start Persona next week.
Yeah.
We're doing Persona. So not last stream forever, but just last stream for now.
So it was jealousy.
Jealousy. Hatred, more like. I hated Caesar. All he cared about was his magic. He lived and breathed it.
Why didn't you just go off and do your own thing? Like, instead of being his assistant, just take your... If you're so genius, just go fucking do your own shit. Why'd you need to kill him?
He poured everything into his street performances and his stupid tours like it was just a hobby to him, never bothering to think about Mora. What sort of fool devotes their life to the art of deception and never has a Mora to show for it?
Lenny, take your boot and kick him in the face. Like, at least twice.
But the people loved him, didn't they? Oh, how they looked up to him. No one gave me a second look. All I ever heard was, "Oh, your master's amazing, isn't he?"
Because he was a good person and everyone loved him.
Amazing. Yeah, so amazing that he was completely broke. Every other apprentice was living it up at their master's expense, but no, not me. I put in all the work, mastered all the skills, and it brought me nothing more than the life I already had.
Thank you for letting me ask the question I had.
He forbade me from using magic to trick people out of their Mora. There was nothing he hated more than that.
First of all, once again, you could have just left. Second of all, yes, he didn't want you to be an asshole. I feel like that's a good lesson.
And with his reputation in Fontaine, it was too risky for me to go it alone. As long as he was alive, if I dabbled in my own brand of money-making magic, he would expose me, and it would destroy me.
If you just be a good magician, like, you could just leave and, like, have cool magic tricks. And just, like, charge people for it instead of doing it for free on the street. Like, what?
He was gonna do that? You really think he's gonna think about doing that?
No, because he's an idiot. He's a fucking moron who only cares about lying and cheating. I was like, dude, just, if you're actually that good at magic, just fucking do magic. Not to steal.
I had to kill him. There was no other way. He had to go.
No. This, look. I know earlier my theory was that you did it because you wanted Gemma for yourself and you were jealous of him for that. This is somehow worse? This feels stupider? Like, I mean, that would also be pretty damn stupid. This feels somehow stupider than I even imagined.
And this was your only motive?
It was reason enough. What other motive would I need?
I might still be right, though.
Well, I was under the impression that there might have been other factors at play. For instance, maybe you were in love with Gemma, but she was engaged to Caesar.
In love with Gemma? Don't be ridiculous.
Oh no, cool. I was right about that. Cool, double stupid. Love that I called that.
Guess I was wrong about that then. Next question. Are you the Phantom Weasel?
I am. Caesar was so strict with me. He insisted that his way was the right way. That the sole purpose of magic was to bring joy to the world. I never bought into any of that. I was more interested in the practical value of magic. Sure enough, it helped me fill my pockets with all kinds of valuable treasures.
Oh, yeah! Charlotte told us that the weasel would steal whatever people valued, no matter how much it was worth.
That's just how it looked from the outside. What would any thief want with second-rate loot? I've only ever targeted high-value items. I stole cheap things as a way of practicing my craft. It was other people's overactive imaginations that conjured up the preposterous image they then dubbed the Phantom Weasel.
So, that's the story, huh? Well, I hope you're ready to tell it all over again during your trial.
What choice do I have? You're a pack of wolves, and you've got me between your jaws. You've seen what's
And I'm ready to do a
My
chomp.
last-ditch effort to stop it getting out has failed. What else can I do? So be it. I've enjoyed power and wealth for the last 10 years, the likes of which Caesar could never give me. I wouldn't choose for things to end this way, but I regret nothing.
Okay, so you had 10 years of living the high life, and now you're gonna live 40 years in prison. And I have a feeling you're not gonna do very well in the Fortress of Maripes. In the Fortress.
Very well. In that case, I'll contact the guards. Traveler, Paimon, keep an eye on Lorenzo for me. I'll meet you just outside the workshop when I'm back.
Like, let's be real, you're not gonna make it. You're gonna be someone else's bitch, for damn sure.
least I can finally stop looking over my shoulder now.
You murdered a man. Someone is dead because of you. Remember treasure chest, right? Okay, punk ass bitch.
Lily has told me the whole story. Lorenzo, do you confess to the murder of Caesar and to framing him for the Phantom Weasel's crimes?
That's the one thing that we haven't answered yet, is who put the letter up on the opera?
Look who's finally developed a conscience.
I don't think it's a conscience. I think it's threat of death. Pay no attention to the sword that I have literally in his throat.
What kind of disciple murders their own master? I hope it was worth it, because there'll be hell to pay.
Looks like it's all over. What should we do next, Lenny? Should we start preparing for your show?
Let me think. Let's rendezvous with Lynette and Gemma first. With Lorenzo in custody, Gemma will no longer have to fear for her safety.
Good point. We should go tell Gemma the good news right away. It'll give her some peace of mind for sure.
This feels like the story. Well, I guess because it was a non-Archon story quest, this one felt a lot shorter than the recent ones we've been doing. Assuming that that's the end. Wow, they're still at this cafe? It's been like 6 hours, my dudes.
Ah, you're back. You were so quick. I've only just finished my third dessert.
Ooh, third dessert.
Your third? Lynette, come on, we've talked about this. Everything in moderation. You're not gonna have any room left for dinner now.
Lenny, you misunderstand the ability of just about anyone to have a dessert for dinner. We don't need dinner anymore. That was dinner. Dinner was very sweet.
That's fine. I'll shift to exercise mode and jog off the excess sugar.
That's besides the point. Well, it's done now. But try to eat a more balanced diet in the future.
Point taken.
She's so done with this shit.
Did everything go okay?
Of course! Lorenzo was no match for us. The guards are taking him into custody as we speak.
Gosh, that's amazing. I'm sorry, I still didn't know if I could trust you, but now it seems I can. I had my suspicions about Lorenzo, but
It's okay, we understand. He did threaten you. Paimon would find it hard to trust strangers in your position too. But you don't need to be scared anymore. Everything's gonna be okay.
Sorry. Sorry. My emotions are all over the place right now. I've been waiting for this day to come for so long.
It's okay, let it out.
I always wanted to report Lorenzo. He took all of Caesar's property, which I found suspicious. But I had people watching me all the time, so I couldn't risk looking into it. I was so afraid. I was scared he'd do something terrible to me, and then no one would be left to visit Caesar's grave. So I never had the courage to speak out. Thank you all. Truly. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for clearing Caesar's name. I never would have guessed that Lorenzo was the real Phantom Weasel. He never showed any signs that there were problems between him and Caesar in public. From the outside, it looked like they got along great. And to think that lowlife's been living life to the fullest all this time, while Caesar's name was getting dragged through the mud. It's a travesty. At least his soul can finally rest in peace now, thanks to your efforts.
I'm sorry, dude, you're fucking jacked. What the fuck? Sorry, I don't know why I'm harping on this.
If only I'd realized before it was too late.
Don't blame yourself, Gemma. This isn't your fault.
Yeah, you still have the rest of your life to live. Caesar wouldn't want to see you spending it feeling guilty.
Cheer up, Gemma.
Oh, Lynette.
My brother's doing a magic show at the Opera House tomorrow evening. Would you like to come along? It might raise your spirits. This show will be a special one. We're holding it in Caesar's honor.
Did you clear that with Liddy? I'm gonna assume yes.
In Caesar's honor? Really? Thank you. I'll be there.
Great.
We're gonna do
We'll
the
see you
trick.
tomorrow evening. Traveler, Paimon.
We're gonna
don't
do
be
the
late.
trick that killed Caesar, but we're gonna do it properly.
Don't worry, we'll be there. No way are we gonna miss out on a free magic show. Wait, Paimon feels like we're forgetting something.
You are forgetting
Oh
something.
yeah, Caesar's diary! We never found out if the two kids Caesar taught magic to were Linny and Lynette or not.
That's not the part that I was thinking you were gonna harp on.
Topic back in the workshop, so we didn't get a chance to bring it up. Oh well, guess we'll just have to ask Linny tomorrow evening.
I was fully expecting you to think about who, was it the next evening? 18? What was I saying? Who wrote the letter, but you know what? It's fine. Let me guess. Yep. That was a fun little story. But I have a feeling... I don't know, something feels like there's still more happening.
Cutscene.
Well, yes, the cutscene. Well, like, you were so, excited for me to do this one.
I love Lenny.
That's, you know what? That's valid. I don't know why I thought there was anything more to it. He is your boy, and that's all that matters.
To actually get depressed, I would have said we'd do Neuvillette and Risley's, but we don't need that right now.
I mean, I think we got depressed enough with all the Archon story quests. I'm gonna be real. You know, we kind of had a lot. Also, this is the second story quest in a row where it's like, hey, let's solve the murder of someone who died, like 10 or 20 years ago or whatever. It's like, huh. Closure. Weird how that's a theme that keeps coming back up. There's also a little bit of that with Nikita's, but less solving the problem and more just talking about it. Lynette, what? Wait.
Paimon's excited to see another of Linny's magic shows! Wait. Lynette, shouldn't you be on stage by now?
Not this time. My brother's going solo today, so I'll be watching with you.
Good evening, ladies and
Okay, cool.
gentlemen. I hope everybody's ready because the show is about to begin. The great magician Linny has prepared a spectacular show for us all tonight, concluding with an
Robert Houdini.
I was thinking the exact same thing. It's like, this motherfucker is just named after fucking Houdini. Paimon, we already know what the trick is. If you're smart enough, you can figure it out.
Thank you all so much for coming. Now, prepare to join me on a journey through the mystical and miraculous.
Lenny wows the audience with his skill in ways that we will not watch.
Exciting stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it's just... It reminds me of him.
No wonder. Caesar was a famous magician too. So, how did you two first meet, Gemma?
Well, I was out on the street once, and I saw him performing for little children. Children love magic, because they're willing to believe in things that can't be rationally explained. Caesar had this amazing way of bringing them into a dreamlike world, and somehow, I felt drawn to him too. So, I went up and asked him to do a trick for me.
Aw, that sounds so romantic. What trick did he do?
It was with a flower. He took it in his hand, snapped his fingers, and it magically appeared on my head.
Ah, I think I understand something, B. It did. What do you mean it did it again? What do you mean it did it again? What the hell? What is happening?
What is happening?
Discord. This has never happened before. Discord. Why?
Yeah.
Let's just fix that for a second, because you can hear me, so I'm definitely active.
Yeah. Because like it moves you and then mutes you.
Well, okay, muting me in that specific channel that it takes me to is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But anyways, as I was saying, he did this romantic trick where he snapped his fingers and suddenly there's a flower on your head. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? Sounds incredibly familiar to something that happened earlier in the story.
I was so happy that day. No one had ever given me a flower before that.
And I was like, B, how did you feel when you first saw that moment and you remembered that Lenny did that to you?
I mean, because it was a Luminous bell that he gives, and then she said that's because that's a flower of separations. I was just more looking like, oh yeah, what are you doing talking about separations?
I mean, also that, but I mean, like, then Gemma brings it back around to that exact moment with this story. Of this is how these two who fell in love first met.
Oh,
of that exact trick.
Actually, now that you mention it, Lenny's done that one before.
Oh, cool. Paimon noticed.
Is that right? Then I suppose he's a romantic at heart, just like Caesar. So let's treasure the time we have with him.
And
romantic at
where
heart.
Where do you think he learned that?
But this is, I guess this is where, because you've talked about it before, where Lenny's kind of shown some affection towards the Traveler. And my brain is like, well, there's some example of that.
And then you listen to all of his goddamn voice lines.
I don't have them, so I can't do that.
They are a thing.
After all, you never know when the people dearest to you might be gone.
That's right. It's all over now. Paimon doesn't really know how to comfort you, but at the very least, no one's gonna be intimidating you from now on. You can breathe easy at last, right?
Right.
Do you think a room like this echoes a lot and everyone can hear this conversation? And they're just all politely ignoring it.
Yes, you can breathe easy now, Phantom Weasel.
I knew it. She's the one who put the letter.
Wait, what? The Phantom Weasel? Lorenzo escaped?
Paimon, shh, you're too loud.
What do you mean, Phantom Weasel?
As Lenny once said, a performer's job is to commit fully to their role and put on a flawless performance for their audience. But once the bag of tricks is empty and the curtain falls, it's time to end the show. The spotlight is no place for someone with no more cards up their sleeve. It's been 10 years, Gemma. Aren't you tired of the grieving widow act? I think it's time to put an end to it.
Wait, what?
What are you talking about? Paimon doesn't like this riddle.
Wait, what?
Traveler, Paimon doesn't like where this is going. Come on, say something.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all enjoying the performance
Lorenzo
so far.
admitted to being the Phantom Weasel.
There will now be a brief intermission, after which Lenny will perform the most electrifying act of tonight's show.
No, people can
the one
lie.
we've all
I
been
know,
waiting
but like,
for.
why would he lie about that specifically?
The final performance will take place outside of the Opera House, so please make your way outside in a calm and orderly fashion.
The Phantom Weasel never did like public places, did they? Don't worry, this place will be quiet soon. Let's talk somewhere else for now.
Wait, no, hold on. I have questions. Tell me your secrets.
Dear me, this is awkward, isn't it? And unfortunately, I'm all out of gadgets, so I'm afraid I can't do any tricks to liven up the mood. This is a big mistake for a magician to make, but thankfully, I do have a backup plan. Now, who wants to hear a story?
I do. Is it a story of what the fuck's going on here?
Lenny, don't we have more important things to address right now? Lynette accused Gemma of being the real Phantom Weasel a moment ago. Oh, what the heck's going on?
All in good time. Magicians are good at guessing what people are thinking. I know the questions you want to ask. And as it happens, the story I'm about to tell might answer a few
Thank
of
you
them.
for the lurk, by Beast. Thanks for hanging out.
Really? Well then, let's hear it. Paimon's dying of curiosity here.
Let's go back to the very beginning. A decade ago, when the Phantom Weasel was terrorizing the court of Fontaine. She never missed a target, never left a trace, and no treasure was safe from her thieving hands. But as her infamy grew, so did the readiness of the police, and her opportunities to act became ever fewer. Every day, she ran the risk of being exposed for who she was. Of course, she could not simply take this lying down, and before long, she found her ticket to freedom. She would create a scapegoat, a false weasel to close the chapter on her behalf. After weighing her options, she set her sights on a renowned magician, Caesar. After all, magic and theft shared enough similarities for people to buy the story when the truth came out.
So then what?
Being the master deceiver she was, the weasel easily earned Caesar's trust. Now all that remained was to frame him for her countless crimes. But as she was considering how to make her move, she noticed Caesar's aggrieved pupil, and a new thought entered her mind. Maybe I don't need to get my hands dirty after all. At her encouragement, Lorenzo tampered with Caesar's magic box, causing him to fall to his death. Afterwards, Lorenzo seized his master's property, and the weasel set about tarnishing Caesar's reputation. Two co-conspirators committed the perfect crime.
Say what now?
I've got to hand it to you. You're both exceptional storytellers. It's enough to make even me wonder whether there was really another mastermind behind all this, pulling the strings. But I just have one question. You seem to think that I am the villain in this tale. What's brought this on, Linny? Is it something that Lorenzo said?
Don't worry, Lorenzo said nothing at all. But I never believed that he was the weasel, and in fact, my investigation only made me more certain of that. He was too forthcoming with his confession.
Okay, so he did love Gemma,
He was trying
which
to
is why
hide.
he took the fall for her as the weasel.
How disappointing. So you'd sooner trust Lorenzo than me? Even without a shred of evidence?
A magician is an expert at playing the audience to get the result they want. And I have no doubt that you, Gemma, are equally talented in this regard. With a little help from Lorenzo, you put on a very convincing performance. The lovesick fiancé, whose devotion to her betrothed is unshakable, even under threats of violence. Caesar was maligned and hated by all for 10 years, but you? Everyone sympathized with your plight. Who would suspect for 1 second that the lovely young lady always seen weeping in front of Caesar's grave was actually the mastermind behind his demise? No, not that poor lady. Perish the thought.
Wait,
Okay, look.
so you mean the whole intimidation thing was just a hoax? Gemma and Lorenzo were both in on it? But why would Lorenzo agree to that? And why didn't he sell her out even at the end instead of admitting to being the weasel himself?
Yes, why indeed? Maybe Gemma herself could enlighten us on that question.
Well, Linny, if you're so confident in your version of events, then I think the answer should be obvious.
Her entire demeanor and voice just completely changed, and I'm all for it.
Just flipped.
I mean, it's about time. Like, it's at this moment where she doesn't really have a choice or need to hold it, I guess. Just like,
Having killed Caesar with his own hands, Lorenzo was plagued by overwhelming guilt. Revealing the Phantom Weasel's true identity would serve no purpose. But if the weasel remained free, then she could take care of Lorenzo's loved ones.
An excellent answer, though sadly a little dull.
Is that right? Well, don't let me bore you. If you'd care to change the topic to something more interesting, I'd be much obliged.
As a matter of fact, there's one thing I'd really like to understand. Why would the real weasel have targeted things that only have value to other people? Could you shed any light on that?
Of course. After all, we're just telling stories here, aren't we?
We don't have evidence. We can't get her arrested.
If I had to guess, I would say that the real weasel must have had a terrible childhood. Left to fend for herself after her parents died young. Betrayed, scorned, beaten. She'd scrounge waste paper from garbage bins to draw on, using twigs and dirt for lack of ink and pen. She'd sew ugly rag dolls from whatever scrap material she could get her hands on. This was her only source of happiness in life. But it was all she needed, and she was content. Until the world decided that even this was too good for her. Once again, she was betrayed. And this time, everything was taken from her. She felt like life was a miry pit that dragged her further down the more she struggled to escape. At that tender age, she should have been happy. Instead, she stood in the shadows and watched with envy as all good things in the world passed her by.
Something would have been done about Fontaine's orphan problem.
Yeah.
Her pain
yeah,
became
Fontaine's got some
breeding ground for
issues.
dark thoughts. Thoughts which festered and grew into a twisted solution to her troubles. I detest the happiness of others, in all its forms alike. I will rob them of everything they hold to be good and true, and it will fill the void in my soul.
I'm going to assume that the answer is no, it did not fill the void.
That's some pretty heavy stuff.
And incredibly petty.
Now it all makes sense. Does this story satisfy you, Linny?
Are you happy, Gemma? Have you once been happy in the 10 years since you stole all that stuff?
Yes,
and killed
it is
that man?
quite to my tastes. Thank you for helping to clear up my confusion.
Huh. That's right. What drove you to write that letter, Gemma? What were you trying to achieve there? Because without that, none of this would have ever come to light.
She didn't write the letter.
You did!
After 10 long years, I'd hoped that the Phantom Weasel would be consigned to the history books by now. But it seems
Motherfucker
like someone
playing us
still
like a
wasn't ready to
goddamn
let
fiddle.
her finally be at peace. Linny. Or should I call you the Phantom Copycat now? You were the one who posted that letter outside the Opera House. But why?
Very sharp, Phantom Weasel. Still as shrewd as ever. Well, no need for me to be coy about it. Our goal was to clear Caesar's name. The most straightforward way to change the public's impression of Caesar was to force the Weasel to show themselves.
That's it? You had no other agenda?
Of course we did. We made it quite clear in the letter, I believe. I shall take from you that which you hold most dear, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
Ooh. His voice and his face just got so much more serious than he normally gets.
Mm-hmm.
Look at his eyes. Dude ain't playing anymore.
10 years ago? You mean Caesar's death? You met him? Wait. Oh, I get it. You were those two obnoxious kids.
Noxious?
It's been so long, and you're all grown up now.
The
I
diary
didn't
said
recognize you.
Caesar didn't see anything wrong, but Gemma was always so wary around that they didn't like her.
And that she didn't like them, too.
Yeah,
Because they had piercing eyes.
They could tell she was up to no good because they've been there.
Mm-hmm. 3 peas in a pod.
He taught you magic back then, didn't he? For what, 10 days or something? And you went to all this trouble. Why? Because you feel like you still owe him something?
Because he was a good man and they cared about him a lot.
We remember all our debts, however great or small.
Also that.
10 years ago, Caesar's reputation was torn to shreds and his legacy was thrown out. 10 years on, and no one cares what the truth is anymore. But
If
we
there's something that
did
Arlecchino
not
taught them,
forget.
every debt,
And so we
a
came
debt
to
will be
find
repaid.
you.
And? What exactly did you take from me? I'm still standing, as you can see. Lorenzo has admitted to everything. I'm free.
Okay. Hey, did we all get that on recording? Cameras catch that? Microphones?
Free?
Something?
Do you really think so?
Where's Charlotte? Is Charlotte hiding here?
Caesar once told me that even though the
Sorry.
world is filled with lies and falsehoods, we must find our own truth. I think that applies to you too. Truth can take many forms. Prized possessions with nostalgic value, fervent hopes and dreams, and irreplaceable people. Life took many things from you, and those wounds never healed. When they ached unbearably in the dead of night, stealing became your way of numbing the pain.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that for the last 10 years, you've been living a rather uneventful life. Perhaps that's because you found something other than a life of crime to fill the hole?
Lorenzo.
Back to Lorenzo for a second. He murdered his own master, played along with your act, and took pains to make sure any suspicion would be directed towards him. But what did he have to gain from all that?
A wife.
He knew who you were and the things you'd done, and despite that, he was willing to give everything up for your sake. He's the reason that you haven't felt the compulsion to steal in all these years. You're more than just accomplices in murder. You're the only real friends each other has. So I think you know, deep down, that he is the only truth you have in your life. But that truth is gone now, and I guarantee you, you'll never see it again.
Now that, there's something about that that's fucking dark.
Fucked.
That's intense, my dude. Holy shit. Like, not just you're arrested, it's, hey, the only good thing you've ever known in your life, I've taken it away. And it's gone. Like, straight up. Holy shit.
Congratulations on your freedom, Gemma.
Your freedom will cost you dearly. From now on, you'll be all alone in a world full of lies and falsehoods. I do hope you'll be able to bear it. You've still got a long life ahead of you after all.
Holy shit. Lenny!
Gather round, one and all. The time has now come for the amazing Lenny to perform.
There's a
his
good
final
chance
act in
these kids have
tonight's
killed
show.
people. We don't know, but there's a chance.
There's a decent enough chance that they have a little bit of assassination in their resume. Just a bit. As a treat, you know? A little bit of murder, just for fun. If nothing else, then at the very least that one noble. I hope. Or did Arlecchino kill him?
Kino killed that guy.
Damn.
I'm sure you're all wondering what he has planned for the grand finale. Well, wonder no more, for the answer is a death-defying high-altitude escape.
A high-altitude escape?
I'm sure you all remember the magician Caesar. This was the very trick that led to his fatal fall, after which he was dubbed the Phantom Weasel. But we have now learned that Caesar was wrongly accused, and that the real Weasel has now confessed to their crimes.
Guess that's my cue to leave. Whew. I've been practicing this one for ages now, but I'm still a little nervous.
Ages? Dude, didn't we just find that this morning? Or last night?
Traveler, Paimon, I
You've
hope
already
you
probably
enjoy the
known
rest
for a
of the
while
show.
that Gemma was behind it.
There
They've
may be
probably
a
been
lot of people
planning to
known
do this for a
tonight.
while.
But
This
you
motherfucker's known
alone
everything.
Are my true witnesses.
Lenny, wait. You two hid a lot from Caesar. He went to his grave without ever knowing your secrets. So what about now? Are you an open book? Or are you still the same as ever? You don't have to tell lies to end up isolated and alone. One day, you'll end up exactly where I am today. Maybe then you'll finally understand.
Now, see, the difference between the two of you is he's got Lynette.
Yeah, big things. He had somebody there. She didn't.
Yeah.
You're wrong. I'm nothing like you.
Which is like a sad truth for a lot of people who end up like that.
It is. It's a situation of you had a traumatic situation, and so I can understand kind of how you ended up, but also as an adult, you made choices. You know?
If only they actually fucking helped people who were in those situations.
So,
yeah.
What are we, doing now?
Like Linny said, when you're ready, let's head outside and watch the show.
But what about Gemma?
She'll figure out what's best for her soon enough. Oh, and if you'd like to see Linny after the show, you know where he'll be. The usual haunt.
Alright. Well, let's go and watch Lenny's finale then. This trick's a pretty dangerous one, but he should be able to pull it off, right?
More speed.
Lenny, don't die. Actually, hold on, wait. Got any last words for us, ma'am?
What is my truth?
That you're sad and lonely and it hurts and it sucks and it's terrible, but the only thing that you can do is keep moving forward and...
Sometimes I think I'm like a gambling addict.
Fucking
all I care about is winning. And it doesn't matter what's at stake.
One more time?
I was like, yes, this sentence, the description of the entire Hoyoverse community. We're all gambling addicts.
Hey, excuse you. I only buy the monthly thing and the battle pass.
We still pull.
True.
By the time I come to my senses, I'm left with nothing. Oh, if I had my time again.
I'm just gonna... She's gonna be fucked up for a while.
Magicians are not thieves, only tear things apart. But good-hearted magicians, they put things back together. More speed.
Boy, we have, to be fair, it's not like she was necessarily, like, living a happy life these last 10 years. You know?
Yeah. It was probably the happiest she has been.
It's, at the very least, it's a situation now of now she can confront the truth.
Yeah.
And she can potentially do better. You can kind of learn and grow from this.
Magic should be mysterious, surprising, and defy logic. Magic is hard work. Every single movement has to be practiced thousands of times.
It's alright. We're used to that.
Oh, so cute.
We're sorry. You've taught us so much, but we can't tell you the whole truth.
It's okay. Do you still remember what I told you? This world is full of lies and falsehoods. I only hope that one day, you can find your own truth.
What about you? Have you found your truth?
Magic is my truth. I want to perform a magic trick so great that people will always think of me when they talk about it. For a magician, what greater honor could there be?
Look! Behold! Linny is sealed inside the box. Will he manage to escape? 10 years ago, Caesar attempted this very trick, and it was at this precise moment that...
Watch out!
Oh, that's new.
Mysterious. Surprising. And logic-defying. Isn't that right? This honor belongs to you, Caesar. I'm just sorry it's a little late.
So
Did you see
much.
that? One minute he was falling, and the next, he turned into flowers.
How could he possibly have done that?
Alright, dude kind of took the trick and kind of made it his own. You know what? I actually appreciate that.
How mysterious. I didn't blink once. He just vanished right in front of my eyes.
What a heart-stopping magic show! This was really worth the trip. Caesar's name has finally been cleared, and Fontaine's new star magician Linny has fulfilled a wish on his behalf. Oh, I couldn't ask for a better grand finale. It will make a great headline for the Steambird tomorrow, even if I do say so myself.
Hi, Charlotte. How you feeling? You look happy.
Looks like everyone really loved Linny's grand finale. Paimon doesn't see Linny anywhere. Where'd he go?
Yeah, well, I guess, here's the thing. It's probably in better taste that he didn't do the original version where a dummy hits the ground. You know?
Oh, Lynette said he'd be waiting for us at the usual
I was kind of thinking that the whole time, like, the whole point of the trick is that it looks like someone actually fell to their death for a second or two. That's gonna be kind of fucked up, all things considered, the fact that someone actually did die. So...
Oh, you mean the one where Caesar's buried? Yeah, that's probably it. This whole magic show kinda seemed like Linny's way of saying goodbye to Caesar. So it makes sense that that's where he'd be afterward. Alright, let's go look for him there.
But also, like, instead of having the dummy drop, it's turning into flowers. Like, okay. The what? How? Hello? It is rather impressive. Ow, I hurt myself.
Our bond is strong.
I thought that was a much lower drop than it was. I'm amazed I
That's
got...
the one cool thing about Zhao is that he does not take plunging attack or like he doesn't like fall damage.
No fall damage at all?
I don't know if it's just plunging attacks or just fall damage in general. I think it's
Interesting.
plunging, but
Are you alright? Paimon was scared to death when the chain broke. Paimon was sure something had gone horribly wrong.
Magic is a performance art. A magician has to get creative to keep the audience on tenterhooks. That's our job. So I tweaked Caesar's original setup a little to keep it fresh. I was honestly a little nervous during the live performance. The thought of falling, suddenly feeling weightless, seeing the sky and the ground spinning and spinning. Sometimes, I can't help but wonder what Caesar thought in those final moments. Did he regret taking Gemma and Lorenzo on? Or did he believe that it was his own slip-up right until the end?
You know, Paimon's been wanting to ask you about something ever since we were in Caesar's workshop. You learned magic from Caesar once, didn't you? When was that?
After I joined the House of the Hearth. To be honest, Lynette and I had an agenda when we approached him. I told you about my past before, remember? As a young boy, I survived by secretly learning magic from street performers. I'd watch their tricks and try to figure out how they were done.
That seems like a completely normal thing.
But I quickly realized that observation alone could only get me so far. What I saw was the polished final performance, but the rigorous training they put in behind the scenes remained invisible to me.
That's like all art that you see online on the internet.
yeah.
It's, hey, here's the final piece. It's like, oh my goodness, you're so good. You have no idea what it took to make this. And how long I've been doing this.
I needed to learn how to improve my sleight of hand, hone my misdirection skills, and make niftier props. We were gifted enough that we'd made some progress by ourselves, but without proper guidance from a professional magician, we quickly plateaued.
So that's why you sought Caesar out?
Yes. We figured there was no harm in asking, but it took us by surprise that he was so willing to teach us. In all, we only spent 10 short days together, but he was very good to us. By contrast, we hid so many things from him. For instance, when he asked why I wanted to learn magic, I answered, "It's my passion." But in truth, there was already a lot more to the story by then. After being taken in by an aristocrat for our magic talent, then betrayed soon after, this was no longer about me doing what I loved. What amazed me was how the lie escaped my lips even as I was hesitating over whether to tell him the truth.
Oh, I'm in pain.
Trust is a beautiful thing. Sadly, I'd forgotten how to trust by then.
Winnie.
Still worried about the way I feel? You really are a gentle soul, aren't you? But don't worry, I'm used to it now. From the mansions of the elite to the house of the hearth, lies and selfishness have followed me and Lynette everywhere we go. After Caesar went on tour, we became busy with our missions. The next we heard of him was that he'd fallen to his death, and was now declared to be the Phantom Weasel. That night, I remembered his smile. But as I lay there, I didn't know what to say to him. To keep secrets is to put up walls. The longer you keep them up, the less you let people in. Then, one day, you look around and realize your life is like an empty auditorium after a show, full of seats once occupied by all the people who left. But I guess that's the price we have to pay.
But dude, you're hurting me. You're hurting my soul. And your voice actor's doing a wonderful job. And that makes it hurt more.
You only realize how much someone really meant to you when you lose them completely. That's why I was so confident this would hurt Gemma. Because I felt it for myself.
Yeah, cheer up, Winnie. We've had to say our fair share of goodbyes during our journey, too. But whatever happens, Paimon always believes in what tomorrow brings. Delicious food, fun toys, and the traveler by my side. Paimon just needs to focus on things like this, and all the unhappy stuff goes right out the window. You know, traveler, doesn't that kind of make you Paimon's truth?
Exactly. It's the same for me and Lynette. We are the truest thing each other has in the world, and nothing can replace that. Life has taken plenty from us, like it did from Gemma. But at least it left us with each other. That's what gave us the strength to get through the darkest days. That's why the darkness never consumed me and why it never will. Maybe we live in the shadows too, but we remember every precious ray of light that shines through. All right, time to lighten this conversation up a little. What did you think of the show tonight? Were you happy with it?
That conversation was too real and too direct to my heart. I love this boy.
It was amazing. Paimon just wishes we hadn't
This
been
story
so
quest
distracted with
was
the Gemma
kind of what
situation.
pushed me over
We
the
spent
edge to
most of
pull
our
for
time
him.
in the opera house just
So you did
talking
his story
and
quest
pretty much
before
missed the
you got
entire
him.
first half of the show.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense though.
Because I
knowing-
actually
yeah.
was not super interested in pulling. I was just like, well, he'd
Yeah,
be
because
cool,
of the
but I'm like,
bow.
I can wait. Yeah, and then I did this, and I was just like, God damn it.
Winnie, could you do just one more trick for us?
Whoa, that's a bit of a tall order, I'm afraid. The show's just finished, so my sleeves are decidedly card-free right now.
Why do I not believe that? Why do I feel like you always have a hidden ace up there?
Aw, come on! Surely you can think of something. The Winnie Paimon knows can do anything if he puts his mind to it.
Oh, all right then. I'll give it a go, but only because it's you. Watch closely. I have a flower in my hand.
You liar! There's nothing in your hand. We ain't going along with this.
Huh? My goodness, you're right. But I could have sworn I brought one here with me. Okay, try this. Count down with me. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Now, have another look around. Maybe the flowers appeared somewhere else.
Fastest hands alive. Fucking Sonic the Hedgehog just runs over, pins it up to her scarf, whatever, and then runs back without even them noticing.
Let's see. Wow, there it is! Oh, this is a different flower from the last time, right? This one's called, oh yeah, a rainbow rose. But more importantly, Paimon has to know how the trick is done, please!
Wasn't the Rainbow Rose about, like, passion? And, like, other such things that are a little bit more...
Passion and romantic encounters.
Suspicious? I'm on to you, boy.
Well, if you want to learn magic, you'll have to start by addressing me as teacher.
Fine. Please, teacher, please!
Since you asked so nicely, I'll share one little tip with you. Namely, the student of magic cannot solely rely on others being prepared to reveal their secrets. You have to observe, think, and find the answers for yourself.
Is that it?
Look at the time. We shouldn't linger here too long. Thanks again for coming to see my show. I bid you both good night. I look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Shall we head back now too? Paimon can't wait to read The Steambird tomorrow. Paimon bets Linny and Caesar will be plastered all over it. Let's head to the Steambird's offices tomorrow morning and see what we can find out.
And now it's in your inventory too.
Oh, yay! Let's go look at it. I need to read it specifically. Where is it?
It's in quest items.
This one, there it is. It's an arrangement of luminous bells which symbolize parting, and rainbow roses that represent passion. Parting and passion are two separate perspectives sharing the same nature. What really matters is the present that we are living in. It's a combination of very sweet but also very sad.
Yeah.
Especially once you realize that it has the bells in there as well.
Yeah.
It's like he has these feelings for you that he is not allowing himself to feel or to show or to share or whatever.
I'm very sorry, Charlotte, but my sister and I are quite busy today. I'm afraid we'll have to decline this interview.
Oh, please, Linny, I'll only take a moment of your time, if you would be so kind.
Huh? What's happening here?
I spent all night writing my piece about the Phantom Weasel, and it was going to go to print this morning, but just as dawn broke, I suddenly received news that Caesar's fiancée, Gemma, had contacted the guards and confessed to having been the real Phantom Weasel all along.
Yay! I think.
That was quick.
Too late, bro.
Paimon, you and your big mouth.
That was quick, you say? It sounds like I've got some catching up to do. Please, fill me in.
Whoops.
Oh, Paimon, you know we love you.
Aha! My instincts did not lead me astray. You do have something to hide. Gemma turning herself in must have something to do with Linny's performance last night.
Maybe watching my high-altitude escape trick reminded her of a better time with Caesar, and she could no longer ignore the voice of her conscience.
Huh. Okay, then. Wait, no, there must be more to it. If that's all it took for her to have a change of heart, how did it take her 10 whole years?
I love how close she was to accepting that.
Well...
We're going to distract her somehow.
I remember now! You and Gemma were nowhere to be found after the show. What happened between you? Quickfire question. Where did you all go after the show?
Oh, we went to the cemetery and Linny did a private magic trick just for us. Actually, glad you mentioned it, because that reminds Paimon, guess what? Linny started using rainbow roses in his tricks.
Okay, I know what's coming next. Is Linny's either going to be very good at hiding it, or he's just going to be beet red.
What? I don't recall ever having received a rainbow rose from you myself. Is this supposed to mean that they're more important to you than your own sister?
No, I just,
What now? Oh, did Paimon say something wrong again?
Paimon, I think now's a good time for us to walk away and let Lenny handle this. He can take care of these two.
This is getting pretty awkward. What do we do, Traveler?
Seems like this interview wasn't meant to be. Well, never mind. There's always next time. Forgive my persistence, but when there's explosive news waiting to be found, I can't turn away. The news about Gemma has already made waves, and I'll stop at nothing to get to the bottom of it all.
It's funny how quickly Paimon kind of put Lenny in a rough spot twice.
Apparently, one of the things she said to the guards was that her final wish is to see Lorenzo one last time. There's clearly a web of complicated relationships there. Can't blame me for being curious. All right, I guess I'll leave you to continue the rest of your conversation in peace. Bye for now.
Lynette? Paimon didn't mean to.
Don't worry, I wasn't angry. I was just trying to distract her.
Oh, really? Oh, thank goodness. You scared Paimon there.
Phew. You and me both, Paimon. You and me both. At least it did the job, right?
Please, take good care of that rainbow rose. I'd be really upset if you lost it.
I think she was legitimately upset a little bit. I don't think it was that. I think it was only a little bit of an act.
And this is why we say Lenny is a bisexual disaster, and we love to see it.
Good for him. Good for him. But I think we might call it there, y'all.
Yeah, I need to eat.
But okay, so that's the interesting thing. Like, we could do this, but I might just do this myself. But we did it. We did all the Archon quest. We did all the Archon story quest. We did the extra story quest that B wanted to do because she's a simp.
Yeah.
So we did it. We beat Genshin. Genshin's, well, technically, sort of, beat Genshin. But that means that next week we're going to start something new. And hopefully B won't be distracted with Minecraft again.
Depends.
Depends. But that's all we've got for tonight, and we're going to go ahead and call it there. Let me see if there's anyone to raid before we leave. Or I think we might just call it on a Sunday night. I think we're just going to call it. So thank you all so much for joining me. Boy, God, how long have we been doing Genshin now? Almost 2 years? The only time we took a break was for Hi-Fi Rush?
I think so.
Wild. But that's it for tonight. We'll be back, or I'll be back at least. B is always welcome to join me, but she's also busy with her own stuff. But I'll be back with Ace Attorney as normal, and we'll have a nice week. Until then, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day, rest of their night, whatever it is. And nope, that's all I've got. Love you. Bye, everybody.